Great idea. If pallets are throwaway products and there are existing pallet house ideas out there, why would your idea of just using one somehow be advantageous as compared to people who use 20 or 30? If they're going to be throwaway anyway, I can't see the market opportunity for you.
Yeah. Accumulating 20 or 30 pallets to one destination is going to be a lot more time consuming, and you won't be able to construct the shelter as soon as you construct one of ours. Using a single pallet, it's already at the destination, and it's going to be a lot faster to implement it to the disaster.
So also, not to mention the fact that if you look at, in China, there are 5 million people displaced. Sure, there are, hundreds of thousands of pallets out there. Ours can house 2 adults with just 1 pallet, where, using 30 pallets to house 2 adults is just nowhere near as efficient.
Okay,
Contain on it, contain on supplies for a village, for example. So there's no obvious relationship, between the number of pallets that arrive and the number of people that need to be housed. The variation on the question is that where the delivery occurs would presumably be in the center of the village, and yet these people don't necessarily live in the center of the village. They may in fact live at some distance from that location. How do they move the pallet, or do you simply envision a tent city surrounding the disaster?
Yeah, if they're shipping the pallets full of supplies, medicine, and food, it's obviously they're going to drop it somewhere where there's going to be a lot of people. And if there's a demand for food and supplies, and they're displaced people who don't have homes to go back to, we're kind of assuming that they're going to need somewhere to live.
Any additional questions?
Yes, this is Karina from Intel.
Great.
You mentioned that it was cost effective. Can you give me some more insight on how it compares to cost of, a small tent or something? Or other alternatives?
Compares to a small
Whereas with the pallet house, it's actually all built into that. You're not having any additional costs because you already are using the pallet no matter what.
Also, similar housing, even in bulk, similar housing structures, even in bulk orders from, shipped from China and other places, can cost as much as $100 a unit for, the type of structures that they are currently using. And obviously, ours, the price of a pallet is much cheaper to manufacture than that. At least that's what the research I found.
Second question is, I would imagine people probably burn the pallets for fuel. Is that true, or is the burning of the pallets done with zero value?
Yeah, it's definitely used for fuel, for heating and cooking.
So what's the opportunity cost then to eliminate that fuel source?
Well, it's really what's more important to them. They might already have a fuel source, and they might not have a shelter. So it's really up to the refugee to decide what's more important to them. The objective of the whole thing is eliminating a waste. It's meeting a need because they're sending the pallets full of food anyways.
So would you say then that if you could create a structure where you could either use a tent pole structure or a pallet structure to support the nylon?
Yeah, of course.
That's a good suggestion.
Benefits, because you must do something with it after it's been used.
Well, the objective of our pallet house design is to add value to something that is already seen with very little value. As we've gone over before, the pallets that we're already using are either burned or destroyed. But with the pallet house design, there's a prolonged lifespan to the pallet that you're using, and also there's rapid housing, and it's just a more efficient manner. That is true that at the end of the day, the pallet house will have to be discarded because it's a temporary living status, but it's all about adding efficiency to something that was previously had very little value.